X-Pac, 1, 2, 3, 60.
Mental shifts as far as what I was doing, because a lot of the stuff was just kind of, I was letting life just kind of wash over me. And there was a certain point where I was just like, all right, I got to take control of this. And now I got to take the horns on this and move it where I want it to be. And that's kind of how it worked out. A lot of stuff worked out. I ended up getting signed to WWE in 2013. I did the show with The Rock, The Hero, around the same time.
Yeah.
And then all this stuff just started happening. Of course, the WWE thing didn't work out as well as I'd hoped.
What would you say was the biggest reason for that?
If I'm honest,
I say be 100% honest.
Well, at the core of it, it's me.
Okay.
I'm so not good at hiding my feelings, and Bill DeMott and I did not get along.
Get out of town.
What a surprise, everybody.
Get the F out of town.
This just in. Bill DeMott didn't get along with somebody. I mean, it was very strange because he'd come in some days and like we'd be cool. Another day I'd come in and be like, good morning, Bill. He'd look at my hand and just walk away and not shake my hand. And it's like, you're the head coach. Like, you're supposed to be an example. And he'd always say, oh, I'm working. But
what do you mean I'm working?
Yeah.
Like he's working you?
Yes.
Like,
I don't know.
That?
I don't know.
It's
bullshit.
Like, I'm working, I'm doing my job. I don't have time to shake it. No. Okay, you're being a dick, but I can see your point. I'm working.
No.
He means he's working
He means he's working the boys.
To what end?
I don't know. And it was just a lot of BS. And then I'd hear that, like, you know, he said he hated me to a couple people. And that's fine. We don't have to be best friends. But I ended up going in and talking to him because I was like, well, I'm not just going to ignore that. And I was like, hey, so we need to talk. And he's like, what's the problem? I said, well, I'm hearing that you're telling people you hate me. That's fine. I said, we don't have to be best friends or anything. But if that's going to impede my progress, I shouldn't be here. I should move on.
Yeah.
And he's like, no, don't get caught up in all this high school BS. I'm just working when I'm saying that. And I'm like, what do you mean? We're not like in a situation where that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like I remember exactly when that happened. We were just setting up the ring for a show at NXT, and it's like, I think he'd asked somebody where we setting up Gorilla, and I'd remember from the last time I was like, oh, we set it up here actually last time.
Yeah.
And then I continued on to do whatever, and he just turned around and he's like, I effing hate that guy, and it's like, okay, cool, but why am I here if that's the case? Because at every point, I can remember specifically, Michael Cole said something to him about, hey, I want this guy to do this, whatever. Whoa, watch out. And Bill just turns, I'm standing right there, and Bill goes, yeah, well, he doesn't take direction very well. And I'm just looking at Bill like, what did I do to you?
Yeah.
And so the problem is a lot of guys can take that and keep it inside. I can't. And so at the end of the day, that falls on me. No matter what he did, no matter what he said, no matter how he reacted to me, I had a choice to take it one way or the other. The only crazy thing is that somehow that story got blown up that I stormed in the office, slammed the door, and was looking for a fight. Which is complete insanity. There's cameras in the damn place. And anybody that knows me knows I'm not that type of guy to come in all guns ablaze. And now I came in and I was very assertive. But I wasn't in there like, come on, Bill, what the hell is this? You know, it wasn't anything like that.
Got a problem with me? We'll step outside?
It was very calm. It was actually calmer than I'm talking to you right now. So
you weren't trying to work him into
there was no work. No work. And so the thing that shocked me was there were only two people in that office. There were only two people that knew that either of us were even there talking about this. So if that's the story that got around, who put the story out? And I don't want to point fingers, but then that eventually gets to Hunter, who then repeats the story back to me the day before I was fired, and tells me that I have to have respect for the coaches. And I did, because I got along with all the coaches except him. And he's the guy who writes the reports and says, this guy, no, he's not ready, blah, 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 whatever. So...
yeah, man, you're kind of screwed.
Yeah, I mean...
just being honest.
I mean, go to court, and then the cop says, you sped, and you say, no, I didn't.
Right.
You're paying the fine.
Yeah.
So at that point, it was like, I had to just look at him and just be like, okay.
So, do you
thing to consider the fact that I can be outside of WWE, outside of that factory system, if I'm honest, and be able to still thrive, make a good living, be comfortable, and still have options to do other stuff. I have immense freedom that I'm so grateful for. Whereas if I go there, that's the big stage. It is the big game, and I think everybody wants to be there at some point. At the same time, to what end? Because you essentially become an employee, even though legally otherwise. But you kind of get stuck in that where it's tough to build things outside of
That's
it.
right.
I want to start building stuff outside of wrestling. I want to
Yes.
start. I've got cash now that I can play with to invest in real estate and things like that. Start businesses.
You don't want
and
to start your
things.
own wrestling company?
No, I do not want anything to do with that whatsoever. I want nothing to do with that. What a money pit.